mixer, so it's fine.
No, we got to start all over now, and I got to talk about my poop, and Jen's got
Roll
to
it back to poop one.
Take it from the top.
Back to 2.
I guess this is a good point to mention that after weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of not doing it, we're back to posting episodes on YouTube. I had a thing with the studio where we recorded, and it made live streaming and video stuff kind of a nightmare. So, hey, hello, YouTube. Once again, you missed like the first 15, 20 minutes of this because I forgot to record the video part. But hey,
so everyone's going to see my
podcast.
room? Oh, man, I should have cleaned up.
Yeah, you missed a whole lot of talk about Travis and me pooping in a bag. Not together, but hey, don't
now maybe together.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't that kind of podcast.
Tell Frank.
Well,
Who's Frank?
If
Go
everyone's
listen to
seen
the podcast.
Yeah.
If everyone's
maybe-
seeing video now, I
maybe
suppose I
listen to
should
the
do one of
first-
these.
Whoa!
Oh, hey.
Bam.
Yeah,
The audio. Now's the time to switch to video. So there.
Your
What?
boy's got sparkles, baby.
What a conundrum for everyone now. So we're talking about COVID for a few reasons. One, everyone's sick, including Jen.
As I cough my fucking brains out in a perfect time.
Hacking up a lung. And also, bad news, everybody. We are in the midst of the second biggest COVID surge ever.
Surge.
Ever?
Forever. Like, I'm sure people have seen those headlines.
Ever?
Guys, we can do better. Let's get this surge to number 1. We can really push it. Let's make this worse than it's ever been.
They're
It's
trying.
It's the biggest since Omicron, which you're never going to top Omicron.
Her.
Yeah, like just for naming reasons alone, you're never going to top Omicron.
Nah.
Omicron. Sorry.
Like if we just called COVID Omicron, everyone would have been scared of it all the time. We wouldn't have been as divided as a nation as we were. Instead,
Omicron's my favorite Transformer, though.
Sure. It's probably copyright concerns.
What I was trying to do was Omicron to the tune of Kodachrome, but it wasn't quite there.
Oh, that's the Paul Simon song?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a deep cut for the people.
It's a deep cut for me. I was like, what?
Yeah, there's a bunch of headlines out there about our current COVID surge. Is everyone still doing COVID stuff in public? Like, are you still mostly masking up?
Yeah, I mask up if I go places where I am suspect of other people. Like if I a grocery store. Like I don't know.
If you're around Travis and he's got a mask on, he's sus of you.
Kinda, yeah. Like when I go to the doctor, I do it, and when I go to the grocery store, because I've just seen people just do insane. I watched a lady eat a cake in the grocery store and like put the part back that she didn't want, and I'm like, if this is happening, I don't know what you're doing outside of here, and I need to kind of, I'd prefer to just wear one of those. Remember those party bubbles people would wear? Like, Flaming Lips would do when they would be in concert? I'd walk around in the giant hamster ball if I could.
That'd be amazing. If we could do that. I feel like that is another thing. Like if we replace masks with those, we would all mask up all the time. We would all bubble up.
I have been wearing a mask because I've been sick, but also literally 2 weeks ago, I went to a cult themed birthday party and someone fed me cake with their hands. So I don't know what I'm fucking doing.
Was it the lady from the grocery store?
Maybe. That could have just been my friend.
That is quite a coincidence.
Yeah. I wonder if I'm not so much going to a grocery store, but like giant party installations that Jen Scott is also at. And I'm like,
maybe you were just at Lydia's cult birthday party.
That might have been it.
And you were getting that confused with the grocery store again.
I do call cult parties the grocery store because it's code. It's.
Yeah. The Latin chanting throws you off, but not for long. You're back to grocery shopping pretty quickly.
Like I'm most likely to mask up like on a plane.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If I'm flying, which I don't know if that's even the right move. That feels more symbolic than anything, because if any environment is going to have like
The
the
best air.
filtration system in place to like filter out COVID, it's going to be a plane. Like I think they have put measures in place where it would make like grocery store probably the more appropriate choice, but I don't really mask up at the grocery store either.
No,
I don't either. I hate masks so much for like just my skin is so sensitive. You can even see right now. I wore a mask this week and my shit is all rocked because they just like give me crazy cystic painful acne. So I
Oh.
wish there was something softer. I don't know. A microfiber.
remember when we all wore those
Stop.
cloth masks for a while, and they were like, "By the way, that didn't do shit. I don't know why you did that."
Yeah, my
Yeah.
Yeah,
first mask I ever bought was absurd. It was
Yeah.
like a Carhartt hat that had a thing you pull up. It's like that's just a piece of cloth. That's not the right thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to masks. If they put mask mandates in place, I'm going to follow them. There were, very recently, LA County had mask mandates in place for like doctors' offices.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
But I think they lifted that recently, right?
I
Or
don't
they're
know. The
like-
last few times I went, like I got ill prepared. Remember how you used to always have a mask on you because you would always need it? I stopped
Yeah.
doing that, and I showed up to a doctor's appointment, and they're like, "What's with the whole face, buddy?" And I was like, and so they handed me one, and then I
Yeah,
was
they
fine.
should just
Yeah.
they should just
Yeah.
have given you one. The fuck?
They did. They just like to shame you when you walk in like a person.
I will fight
Yeah.
them.
Slap him with it first.
And then they're like, "Will you please shit in this mask?" And I'm like, "Why is everyone asking for my shit?"
Everyone wants Travis's poop. Travis's poop is the hot ticket on the market right now.
I got some on eBay when it was still cheap.
You know what, Travis? It's probably from you being a hike influencer. They're like, this guy's pooping
Right.
in the world. We got to see what it's about.
Yeah, we got to track his. We got to track his tracks. Yeah.
Someone's following you on your hikes to make sure to see, just to wait and see if you poop.
They're
Yeah.
behind me with a bag, like when you follow a dog. Like, come on, buddy, just make, and we can get it over with.
Just make is horrible.
So yeah, LA County had mask mandates. There's an article we'll link to, which I think is a good example of how you're not going to believe this, but there are some outlets that are playing up the current COVID surge a little bit. Like it's definitely happening. COVID is real, but there's some nuance to it. And I think one of the examples of that from this article from today.com, they mentioned that several states have put mask mandates back in place. And then they list 4. Like that's almost no states.
Right.
Really. Like that's
Yeah.
not several states. And that's what you're seeing with a lot of the reporting around this current COVID surge. There's a lot of the sky is falling. Experts are saying you have to mask up everywhere all the time again, but no one's really saying that.
And what was fun too about that Today article, when I clicked on it from the document you sent over, I'm in the middle of reading this thing. It's like, oh, this is surging. This is happening. And then just a giant face of Al Roker pops up with like the thumbs up. And it's like, are you loving this content? I'm like, what the fuck? What news is this?
Yeah, Al, I'm loving this content. The fuck? So tone deaf.
Read the room pop-up ad. Yeah, the headline
Also,
of that,
how old is Al Roker?
he's like 1,000, right?
I think
Right?
he's timeless. Yeah. Yeah.
I was convinced he
Father
died.
time, Al Roker.
I know he had cancer. He might have cancer, or maybe he beat it. But yeah, Al Roker's had some health concerns. He
I
did
don't know,
lose
we
a
should
ton of
ask
weight.
him for his poop.
Yeah. Funny enough, he pooped at the White House. He pooped his pants at the White House once.
Oh, was it funny or was it like a tragic health thing? That
It was one of those, like he had just had like the gastric bypass thing, and a bunch of stuff was going on, and he was at like I don't know, one of those correspondent dinners, and he just shat himself.
oh, so
and,
undeniably funny. Maybe he
Yeah,
did it.
hilarious. Yeah,
He
Yeah.
did it as a bit. I
Yeah.
looked how old he is. Guess.
63.
42.
He
Al
is
Roker?
69.
Nice.
If he wasn't, I wouldn't have said shit.
So here's
I
the
was like, that's
headline.
the only way I'll say shit.
So here's the headline from that today.com article. The U.S. is starting 2024 in its second largest COVID surge ever, experts say. And then the subheading, with the U.S. in the middle of a COVID surge, it's time to make sure you're vaccinated and return to masking, experts say. Now, I'm not going to say for one bit that make sure you're vaccinated is bad or faulty advice. Get vaccinated. Don't like, there's no other way to say it.
Are you loving this content?
And this article, it attributes the surge to a few things: holiday gatherings, people spending more time inside. They say waning immunity from low intake of new COVID vaccines, which is interesting because that point gets countered in a later article that we'll talk about. And also there's a new variant, JN.1. Anyone got it?
That's almost my name.
Yeah, I was like, isn't that Jen's rap name when she's in Boogie Town Productions?
I am very highly infectious.
And a CDC update on January 5th mentioned that this new variant could be, quote, intensifying the spread of COVID-19 this winter, which...
Okay. Okay. Sounds like winter to me.
And test positivity and wastewater data show that viral activity in the U.S. is higher than this time last year. I guess I didn't know that that's a way we test for things, but it makes sense.
That's why they want your poop.
That's it. But again, like, you know, we're always talking about like, your phone is listening to you. You know, they're tracking all your stuff. It's like, dude, they're going through your pee water. Like, they're just taking your sewer water and like deciding what you're up to.
You have no
Which is
privacy.
Yeah.
Which is why me, Travis, and Jen are launching the Take Back Your Wastewater
Yes.
Foundation.
Keep it.
TakeBackYourWaste.org. Don't let the government intrude on your privacy or your privacy.
Whoa.
Yeah, your poopvacy, I guess. Your pissvacy.
Pissvacy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a beautiful name for a baby girl.
We
demand that your wastewater be returned to your home.
And we're going to have a strong partnership with mason jars. Just shit in a mason jar. Keep it in your house and dispose of it in the wild.
Listen, go to masonjars.com, enter code "You Don't Even Like This Show," Mason Jars promotion, COVID 2024 episode, Adam, Jen, Travis, to save 6% off your order.
And the first 100 people who do that, I will include a poo sample from me.
Ooh.
Which is the hot ticket right now.
Yeah.
Also, the guy who invented mason jars was named something Mason. Like, not Mason wasn't his first name, and that makes me so annoyed.
I thought it was people who like laid bricks. Like they were like, we're making
no,
bricks,
it's the guy who thinks he invented a jar, and it's like, no, dude, jars have been around.
He's like, did they say Mason on them though?
Did they have a screw top?
I raised my
case. Yeah.
I hate him.
So you want him to be named what? Like Jimmy Jars?
I want it to just be Jar.
Ted Jars?
Men are insane.
He's
Imagine
like,
being like, I invented this container. That's me now. What?
This is my legacy.
Yes, fuck
Before
off.
me, you could not screw top a jar. Now after me,
did he
Jim
know
Mason,
we'd be
you got a screw top. Yeah.
It's the poop jar now, Mason.
Centuries. Man has wanted to put a lid on a jar. Like, have you?
But then I show up, and now, do you want to make a jelly? Do you want to make a jam? Do you want to make a poo-poo? Use my jar.
Hey, I'm Mason.
He's not, though. It's his last name, which is way more upsetting.
But maybe it's like a J. Griffith situation where like his name is like Mason.
No,
Mason
I really
M.
wanted
Mason.
his name to be Mason Jar.
His name is Mason M. Mason. Guess what the M stands for?
Mason.
Martin.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
Just
Martin
joking, it's
Jar.
Mason.
Yeah.
Travis got it. It was actually
Damn.
Mason.
Yeah, I'm up on my Mason facts.
So yeah,
Mason Mavis jar.
I think the big takeaway from the last 10 minutes or so of this podcast is the government is going through your piss and your poops
Keeping them in jars.
and they're storing them in jars. They're sending those to DNA registries, and they know.
It's like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's just a warehouse full of like piss jars, and we have men working on it. Who? Top men, and it's just piss.
Raiders of the Last Jars.
Just reeks of asparagus in there. Oof. So yeah, beware. Maybe start. Hey, listen, if you're an Aaron Rodgers type, maybe start shitting under your bed. I don't know.
Start jarring your own shit.
I think this is a movement we could get started among right wingers if they
Be like
knew.
Mason.
Yeah. I used to go to the can, and now I started canning. I can my own turds, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, they could use it to grow their own crops to survive.
For
you know?
sure.
Perfect.
Or also,
Oh, how do
too,
we
just
get this? How do we monetize this? This is brilliant. Like, this needs to be the new.
We need to infiltrate QAnon, and it'll be done tomorrow.
Sure do.
if
Like,
here's what we
should
do.
Wait, we got to make our own jars that aren't Mason jars.
Here's
we got to
what I'm
call
saying.
them the Adam Travis Jenn jars.
Yes. We go to your own home improvement place, whatever brand you prefer. Buy those big gallon
Lowe's.
jugs, and we sell those things. But we
Oh,
brand
sure.
them, and we just have people poop in there. I think they're called honey buckets up in the frozen north. You
That's
just
what I
have
think
call
you
them.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call them JAT jars. That stands for Jenn, Adam, Travis, but it's like an
Jack
acronym
jars.
that just, it just rolls off the tongue.
I'm
I like it.
in.
And I think if we just get the idea that the government is monitoring your poop, we can probably sell 1 million to 1.5 million JAT jars
That's
in like
so
a month.
true.
And it's solid too, because then people be like, dude, can you hold on for a second? I gotta take a jet. And they just go off, and that's the new go
That's
into
our
the bathroom.
legacy.
Yeah.
This is our legacy. Fuck you,
Yeah.
Mason.
We're the new Mason. Yeah.
Yeah. Who do you think you are? Buy JAT jars in stores now.
I mean, do
So-
we really need to go any further with this? We have solved the world problems.
I mean, honestly, we shouldn't release this, and we should just put out the JAT jars.
mean-
This has just been a great brainstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the right wingers aren't listening to this anyway. We can still put it out, and then the audience will have fun with us as
The
we.
Q people never find this and
Yeah,
just get
yeah.
scammed.
Either that or they'll find it and assume it's just part of the conspiracy that's meant to keep them from buying JAT jars.
This
Yeah,
is
we'll
a
be like,
sign.
that's AI, you idiots. That's a deep fake, obviously. We would never disavow the JAT jar. So
Yeah, the fuck.
yeah. Oh, this is great. This is great.
Wastewater privacy. You need a jet jar.
Yeah, this is how we buy an island.
Hell
Not
yeah.
for bad stuff, just for cool stuff. Jet skiing and stuff.
And then
Our
we
island,
can-
it's different.
but then we can monitor each other's wastewater,
Right.
you know, properly.
And then it turns into
Yeah.
like a real tense thing where we're like,
Yeah.
no one trusts each other because of what we're seeing in each other's jars.
There's like secret scientists studying poop. Like, we can't let them find out.
Oh,
I
They're
like
the
that we
rebels
bought an
in our
island to
island.
just sit there and analyze poop on it. Like, we got island living. What are you doing on it? Looking at shit.
Literally, dude.
Yeah, literally, bro.
but seriously, COVID cases are higher globally also.
Are
According-
they?
According to the World Health Organization.
Isn't that literally winter though? Like, that's what I'm trying to say is like winter. Every time it happens, people get more sick. How shocking.
Well, when they say higher, they also mean higher than last year at this time because
Mm.
it's a bigger surge than we've had before. And it's the second biggest. Again, Omicron is still the GOAT from an infectivity and naming standpoint. But there are some projections that show that as many as 1 in 3 people in the US could be infected with COVID during peak months of the current wave, and up to 2 million could be infected in a single day. They didn't name what day, though, which feels irresponsible.
'Cause, yeah, you
One
just stay
in
home that day.
three?
Yeah, 1 in 3 is a
I
lot.
don't
That's
fucking
one
believe
of
that
us.
at
One
all.
of us has it right now.
Yeah, one of us has it.
I just got tested and I haven't been anywhere. So no, we don't. That's a
I
dumb
don't know.
statistic.
I don't know. One of us is sick right now, and one of us has a name very similar to the current variant. So yeah,
The
I
Gen
think,
1 variant.
Yeah,
It is
Jen-
me, the contagion.
patient
And I'm
zero
sure you hear
right
this.
there. Yeah,
I'm sure you hear this 5 times a day, but can you poop in a bag for me and Travis so we can check
Yeah.
out?
yeah.
Gonna cost you, buddy.
No, this is for research. This is gratis.
Pay a
This
pretty
is for
penny for this poop.
Yeah, don't make us subpoena it, please. Subpoena it.
Damn.
just sit there and you throw a poo bag at somebody. You've been served. Now shit in that.
This is
On
science.
our island,
everybody.
that's how we
Yeah.
say hello.
Listen to us talk science right now.
I literally need more water. I'm gonna die.
Also science.
Yeah, that's true. Water, if you can go quite a while without food, but you can't go very long without water.
I tell you what, I can't go long without Waterloo. Oh, unsponsored post. Waterloo sparkling water. It's so good.
The best of the seltzers, if we're honest.
Oh.
Yeah, I fuck with because here's the thing. I didn't like sparkling water until I tried Waterloo, and now everything's changed. I used to think it was too dry, and Waterloo like nails that balance between dry and flavor.
Hate dry water.
Yeah, I do too. And so you would probably fuck with a Waterloo, and they have such a variety of flavors. The grape, the rarest of all. It tastes like grape crush. So good.
Do you want a little treat for
Grape
yourself?
is always a horrible flavor, though.
Well, it can be. It can be. If you get the pineapple Waterloo, which is a very good Waterloo.
It is.
And you get a little bit of lemonade and you water it down with that one. Shaboom. That's what you want.
Oh, I'm going to do that today.
Wow.
It's going to give me an excuse to go to Target.
Huge if true.
All right, let's get back to the pod. So
we never left.
So everything about this current surge, of course, it's bad. I mean, the headlines that you're reading make it clear everyone's getting COVID right now. I can attest. Everyone in LA has COVID right now. It made scheduling this episode a nightmare. But you also won't be shocked to know that it's not quite as bad as some of these headlines are making it out to be. Because
is the news exaggerating?
I know, crazy. I know, but it's true. It does seem like that's happening. There is obviously a lot of COVID going around, but in that same CDC statement about higher COVID rates, they also pointed out that those who've been infected are far less likely to become seriously ill than earlier in the pandemic. And that's good. I mean, I would argue the biggest concern about COVID is that it kills people. And if less people are dying as a result,
that's cool.
That's good. That's obviously good.
Yeah. When I found out that I had the flu and strep, I was like, at least I don't have COVID. And my friend was like, yeah, you have 2 worse things.
Yeah, I mean, those things are both bad. I had strep.
At least you have 2 worse things.
I had strep throat a bunch of times in high school. And the last time I had it, I was like, I've had this so many times. I'm just not even going to deal with it. Like, I'm not even going to the doctor. I'm just going to ride it out. It turned into scarlet fever. My doctor was like, is it the fucking 1800s? How do you have scarlet fever, kid? Like, we eradicated this. And it's like,
strep
I had strep and I just didn't go to the doctor.
Is that what strep turns into?
It can, yeah.
It can turn into a lot of things. It's very fucked.
Yeah.
I like that there's so many.
When I heard scarlet fever, I was like, I'm not a doctor, but that sounds old-timey as shit. Right?
Yeah, it sounds like
swell shut from strep.
Yeah.
Scarlet fever sounds like one of those, like, you were a settler, and then the winter, well, we lost our first kid to scarlet
sounds
fever.
Like a way you die in Oregon Trail.
Exactly.
Scarlet fever sounds like a bad drag queen.
Is that a bad name? I feel like that would actually
be definitely overused. Like, there's probably 100 queens named Scarlet Fever. And we've heard of none of them.
All those Scarlet Fever drag queens out there catching strays on this week's episode.
And they're like, now I
Coming to
gotta
the
change
state.
my name. Mm.
Sorry, bitch. Get more original.
You heard it here first. Also, that wastewater data that most outlets are citing, it does exceed last winter's level, but not by a lot. They're like comparable. There's more, but I feel like it's that kind of thing where they're like, hey, incidents of this are up 300%. And it's like, okay, give me the actual numbers. Well, there was 1 last year and now there's like 4. And it's like, all right,
Exactly. Yeah. Or
That
we
feels-
weren't looking at this last year at all. And now we decided we should look at this. And there's a drastic increase because we're looking at it more.
yeah.
Yep. Because we're
Also-
bored.
Here's a quote from John Brownstein, who directs the Computational Epidemiology Lab at Boston Children's Hospital.
I used to work there.
Yeah. Anyone ever been? Save 10% off your
Yeah.
medical procedure at checkout. No, that's not true. Don't. So here's the quote. It's obviously detecting the amount of copies of the virus, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a direct match to the number of cases. We just need to be careful about extrapolating these results to numbers that could create fear and anxiety. And he's talking about that wastewater data.
Yeah.
Here's another quote from Amy Kirby, who oversees wastewater surveillance at the CDC,
Oh,
which, rewind in your head, that's the outfit that put out the statement about wastewater data in the first place.
professional poo collector.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is who
PPC.
sent Travis the bag.
Yeah.
He was trying to secure that bag from Travis. This is the quote from Amy
Get a
Kirby.
bag.
That, and this is also about the wastewater data. That will tell us there are more infections in those communities, but I don't know if it's going to have any impact. Our hospitals aren't necessarily feeling greater stress than they did last year. End quote. And that seems important too. Like if numbers are up, but it's not the same chaos it was at hospitals, that feels like a good thing. Also.
True, but it's also talking about like managing data the way, massaging the data to get what you want. I don't think they're feeling stress any less or that the stress ever lessened. I think if you work in healthcare, you're just like, this is the worst, Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not denying that the baseline for working in healthcare or just working with the public in general, but especially in healthcare, like the baseline is going to be kind of stressed all the time. But yeah, at least so far, it seems like what's happening with COVID isn't leading to the same hospital situations it did before.
Did you ever see any of those crazy I had to go to the doctor kind of peak pandemic and like they had those weird tents on the outside and did you ever see any of those? Like that was the weird stuff, man.
Yeah, that all felt creepy. There were a lot of moments during COVID that felt horror movie AF.
It was super horror movie AF.
The earliest one for me was really early in the lockdowns when we were all like really locked down. Stores were closed. We were just staying home. I was working with the window open and we didn't have the TV on. I wasn't listening to music. And apparently one of my neighbors was an opera singer and just started practicing her opera singing. So that was just like reverberating through the apartment complex while we're all locked down from this new disease no one knows anything about. And I was like, this feels ominous.
Was she like
the moment?
Was she a cappella singing like a 90s alternative hit? Because that's like that's
like
when you know
an
you're in a
Italian
horror movie.
opera.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was the woman from Evanescence. I don't know.
Also, was she good?
I mean, yeah, like you're not going to put it on blast like that if you're not good.
Imagine a bad opera singer. I don't think I've ever heard that. Like, if someone is an opera singer, they like are good at it, and I've never heard someone be like shitty at opera.
Yeah, I think you got to be good at it. Like when I lived in
I think
Burbank,
to say you're an opera singer, you have to like be good at it.
When I lived in
Not
Burbank,
like comedy.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Yeah, comedy, you just have to be nice to the right people. Yeah, when I lived in
I don't even know if
Burbank,
that's true.
there was a guy who would play piano in his living room, and it was like he had the big picture window in the front. He would open the door, and it's like that guy knows we're watching when we walk by, and he was good. He was really good. But like, yeah, why not make it a show?
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
a
also
good time
If
for
I
like,
could sing like that, I'd be fucking busting that shit out all the time.
yeah.
I had a roommate in college who was an opera singer, and that shit gets old, man. Because
I bet.
he'd practice like a lot, and you're like, I get it,
Uh,
that's your thing, but I need to go
Damn.
to sleep. Yeah,
Frightening, because I
Yeah.
just started dating an opera singer. I'm not even lying.
what
I'm so serious.
the hell? What is happening?
I was like, how did this come up?
And you and Travis just had the cake lady.
Yeah.
What's going on today?
What
Are we
is
the
going on?
Simulation vibes.
This is crazy.
I know. I had to say
Anyway.
something because I was like, this is too many. And I
This is
don't
too
ever
much.
say that
Yeah.
I'm dating anyone. So erase that from your mind.
So there are some things that I
It's
know.
gone.
I know people are probably shouting at the whatever format they're using to listen to this, which is that, yeah, COVID numbers seem comparable to last year, but we're not like testing for COVID the way we did. And that's true. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Hospitals used to test everyone for COVID when they first showed up. And now they test people with respiratory illnesses. So there could be asymptomatic cases and things of the like slipping through the cracks. That's absolutely true. And I think that's why, I mean, it's kind of, it's an iffy thing to say. Like, obviously, well, if it starts getting bad at the hospital level, then we know we have a problem. But at the same time, you could just do the stuff now to prevent it from becoming a problem at the hospital level. It's just a question of whether states, cities, counties are going to be willing to do that. Like,
I don't think people are. We barely made it through the first, mandates. I don't think people are going to want to be inconvenienced again because we're just a bunch of selfish babies.
I did see, and I know this is just anecdotal, it was one guy, but there was a news report on local LA news, and it was like in Orange County, and they were talking to people on the street, and they asked this guy about mask mandates, and he was like, yeah, I was really opposed to it because, I wasn't sure if they worked. I didn't like the government telling me what to do, blah, blah, blah.
Sounds like Orange County.
But then the woman was like, so what if they put mask mandates back in place? He was like, I would just wear a mask. Like, I feel like
Interesting.
I feel like there was some level of not so much I'm opposed to this, but just like, well, this is what all my friends are doing. They're all opposing masks.
And now they're dead.
And now they're either dead, or if I keep that up, I'm going to have to like fight a guy every time I have to go into a Payless shoe store or something. Like, they're going to put COVID guards at the door, which I maintain we have.
Happened.
Yeah.
Well,
You
if we
can-
go back to mask mandates, there needs
There
to be
should
a
be.
COVID bouncer at the door. We can't have the 18-year-old kid working at the Nike store enforcing that shit. Like, that needs
Yeah.
to be
Nightmare.
someone.
If you go to a small mountain or desert town, all that shit goes out the window because they just don't give a shit. They're just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
So here is another quote from Amy Kirby at the CDC. What this is more likely telling us is there are a lot of mild cases of COVID, even asymptomatic cases of COVID in the community, and it's just not causing as much severe infections, likely because of high rates of vaccination, which is interesting because
That's the opposite of the other article.
the other article implied that rates are up because people aren't getting vaccinated. And they could both be right. The person in the first article was referring to the most recent booster, I believe. And I think Amy Kirby at the CDC is talking more about people being vaccinated in general. Because, like, I mean, even if you didn't get the most recent booster, if you've been vaccinated, that's good. That's good.
And that's still in your wastewater, right?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, from all the wastewater I've examined recently,
Good.
yeah, it seems like that is true. Weekly COVID fatalities averaged 1,500 between Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's still a lot, and have risen slightly since hospitalizations started increasing in November. But that number still represents less than half the fatalities we had a year ago, which, again, less people dying is good.
Okay, so you're saying this is the second biggest surge, but like it's 50% of the biggest surge. So it's
Kind of just a surge.
yeah.
Sort of like
It's
how
just
lemon lime surge. Nope, that's the wrong brand. Damn it. I was going
Mountain Dew?
places with that. Yeah, Surge and Mountain Dew. Yeah. Same
I
thing.
thought it
Surge?
like every time we've said surge. And also there's definitely it's really fun to say surge.
It is. Surge
It
is a
is.
It's a
fun word.
fun word. Like
I
I'm
do
like
miss-
surge.
I do miss the soda surge that you're talking about because I don't think they make that
Yeah.
anymore. And it just looked like carbonated antifreeze. It was like a
Yeah.
really fun
Mm.
color, you know?
And they were like, Mountain Dew, this is that, but like twice.
Yeah.
It's like that sounds dangerous.
Yeah. Do you
Wait,
want to
wasn't surge a flavor of Mountain Dew? Am I crazy?
No, it was like
No.
twice as caffeinated as Mountain Dew and like a lot greener. And
Ugh,
it's crazy to
scary.
think that Mountain Dew started as a sparkling orange juice soda. That's what Mountain.
What?
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a healthy soda in the 70s, and then it turned into like green caffeine, play a video game. Fuel.
I recently had to do a stream where we tried like every single flavor of Mountain Dew and we felt fucking crazy afterwards.
There's so many.
A horrible decision.
Yeah, I
Baja
did
Blast is the best, period.
I did a Substack.
Which one?
Baja Blast is?
Baja Blast. Yeah, no, for sure.
Ooh, what? You ever had a goji strawberry?
I mean, no, I'm allergic to red, so I couldn't have like half of them, honestly. It was kind of
Also,
stupid.
goji strawberry, I believe, is one you can only get in restaurants. Listen.
Interesting.
I've done
Why are they like that? Like, why is Mountain Dew like
Women's
extra? You can
sports
only
cards.
get-
women's sports cards and Mountain Dew flavors, the two things I collect.
Do you remember Mountain Dew AM, which was supposed to be the Mountain Dew you drink in the morning?
Yeah, Mountain Dew
No.
is just the Mountain Dew you drink in the morning.
Mountain Dew is fucking crazy for that. And also, I used to drink 2 of the bottles out of the vending machine a day in high school.
Ugh.
I know.
Mountain
Were you
Dew
just
is-
Why did
bouncing
no
off the
one
walls?
stop me?
Yeah.
Mountain Dew
No.
is the soda that finally converted me to diet soda. I feel like it's one of the superior early diet sodas in that the aftertaste wasn't because, like, I don't care. Diet Coke is nasty. It's nasty. Like if you're
It's
still,
gross.
like if you're still actively choosing Diet Coke, like
You're
you have, like-
addicted to it. It is an addictive thing. I drank it for years and I hated it the whole time. And then I stopped drinking it. And then I had one like a year later and I went, how is this carbonated battery acid something people are drinking on a regular basis?
yeah, I've cut soda way out of my diet too. Yeah.
I only give a soda after like a 10-mile hike. That's the only time. And Dr. Pepper is my go-to. Dr. Pepper is the best soda,
Wow.
and I will fight anybody who says otherwise.
I like a diet DP, the DDP.
I had too much of it at one point in like junior high, like every day DDP, and I burned myself on it forever. I think.
That can happen.
Mm.
So, one final quote from the Washington Post article that all of this about how you don't necessarily have, I mean, you obviously have to worry about COVID. Just don't let the headlines freak you out the way they want to freak you out. This is a quote from that Washington Post article. It's possible the December death toll will rise as new data is examined, but experts say evidence so far suggests patients hospitalized with COVID are less likely to die compared with last winter. So it seems like, yes, there's more COVID going around, but it's not your grandfather's COVID. This is that Gen Alpha COVID.
Yeah, highly
It's
contagious.
me!
But yeah. Highly contagious, but you'll live through it, baby.
Yeah. And there's other good news when it comes to COVID. It seems like we might be close to figuring out long COVID, which, woof, that seems like a nightmare.
I thought long
never had.
COVID was like supposed to be essentially an entirely different disease that was caused by you getting COVID.
It seems like it is, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it starts with COVID, but then, yeah, it turns into something. It seems like, at least according to this research that just came out, it turns into another thing entirely when it becomes.
we got
long COVID.
regular COVID, we got long COVID, we got short COVID, medium
you
length
want?
COVID.
Yeah. Which COVID do you want? I mean, it's not a great analogy, but I heard it's similar to like how HIV is what leads to AIDS. It's like COVID leads to what we're calling long COVID.
Yeah,
but
I
that's
think
actually
that's-
a separate thing. Yeah.
So there is obviously a more sciencey way to put it, but the gist is that in people with long COVID, part of the immune system stays active way after it's supposed to. This study found they followed 113 COVID patients for a year after they were infected, just walking behind them with a bag, waiting for them to shit. Like
I've been there. I know what it's like.
And at the 6-month mark, 40 people had developed long COVID symptoms, and repeated blood samples brought up a difference in the blood of people with long COVID. Here's a quote. A group of proteins indicated that a part of the body's immune system called the complement system, sounds nice, remained activated long after it should have returned to normal. And that's an end quote. And basically, when you have a virus or a bacterial infection, the complement system activates and it binds to those viruses or that bacteria and it eliminates them. But it's supposed to stop once the virus or the bacteria is gone. If it sticks around, it starts attacking healthy cells. And one of the things it can cause is microclots in the blood. And that is a common symptom with long COVID that can lead to things like intolerance for exercise, which is a symptom of long COVID because you just don't have the necessary oxygen to do it.
And you got thick ass blood now. Like you can't exercise with thick ass blood.
And it also restricts the flow of blood to the brain, which causes the brain fog, or which could cause the brain fog that's associated with long COVID.
That sentence is brought to you by brain fog.
Big brain fog in our pockets. So the good news is that now that we know this, it could lead to like tests and treatments and things for
looking at our poop.
Yeah, which that would be good. I know long COVID is a bitch.
Wait a minute. Maybe my poop cures long COVID, and that's why people are trying to get so much of it. I have some kind of poop enzyme that fixes this. And they're like, mail us more of your poop, buddy. And really, I have like $1 billion shits. And I should be kind of like, you know, talking to, I don't know, Big Pharma.
You got to talk to Mason about his jar scheme. And
Yeah. Yeah, you got to get in on that.
Jat. Jat Island.
Damn. That sounds good.
It's got legs.
Yeah.
All right. So last thing, it could just turn out that all of this fuss about the second biggest COVID surge of all time could just be like old news soon, because what we really need to start getting ready for is Disease X. Ooh, that sounds so cool.
That sounds like a new metal band that I for sure might have written off 20 years ago. And now I'm like, you know, that album was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Disease X.
Disease X is a term that was first coined by the World Health Organization in 2018.
I've been
waiting. I get it.
I've been just.
And just FYI, it's disease 10. Just, I don't want to be that person.
Oh, Roman numerals. Okay, Travis.
Just FYI.
This is why they want his poop. This is why they want his poop.
Yeah.
He thinks he's better than us, and he's right.
The term, quote, represents the knowledge that a serious international epidemic could be caused by a pathogen currently unknown to cause human disease, end quote. That would be a problem, because at least with COVID, we knew it was a coronavirus, which that's what started a lot of the early conspiracy theories. Is people were like, well, if coronavirus is new, how come it's listed on the things this can of Lysol wipes can also kill from 4 years ago? And it's because coronavirus is like SARS, MERS, like those are all coronaviruses. So we at least had that we knew we were dealing with a coronavirus.
If Corona is new, why have I been drinking it for years?
All right. Bow, 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 bow. Ow.
I can't do that.
Travis is trying to do the hearts and he can't.
I can do it. There we go.
Yeah.
Bats were going to come
You
out.
have to have love in your heart or it won't work.
Jen, you sound like my parents.
That's what your parents are like? Damn. My parents are like, get out of here, kid.
So this new disease, it's most likely to
Bring it
emerge. It's most likely to emerge as a respiratory virus.
Yep.
And could already be in circulation among animals. Jen, watch out. There's an animal behind you.
Clarence, are you disease X?
But it just hasn't transferred to humans yet. A panel of experts gathered last week during the World Economic Forum in Davos to discuss disease X, which obviously has conspiracy theory types up in arms.
Oh,
Which-
everything about from location to the name of this sounds like some Bond villain shit.
And
Sounds so fucking made up. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
yeah, like don't for a second let your feelings on COVID or vaccines take away from the fact that the World Economic Forum is kind of sketchy. Like it's just billionaires getting together to decide how the world's going to work for the
Is
next.
that the thing where they touch the
years.
glowing orb at some point too?
Probably. It
Yeah.
wouldn't surprise me. I'm sure they like worship a burning owl statue or some shit like Bohemian Grove.
Oh,
Sounds
sure
like
there's
a
all
yeah.
kinds of-
party.
Yeah. But also we should be ready for new diseases when they're going to happen.
I'm ready, baby.
But there are some concerns that surveillance of diseases just turns into surveillance. And yeah, it does. That's how.
That's why you need a jet jar.
Yeah, exactly. That's why get your jet jar. We got to put those up on our new merch store, which I should have plugged early on. But if you go to
Buy a fucking shirt.
youdon'tshow.link/shop, there are new shirts and so many colors, styles, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts. You can get
I
all
drew
of
a
them.
Mothman for all of you.
Jen drew a Mothman. Jen did the Conspiracy the Show shirt that you can get there. And it's not pre-sales. It's not pre-orders. Just go buy one. They'll send it to you. I'm not going to send it to you. We make less money that way, but it's fine. I prefer less work. But hey, go buy some stuff. I guess we've moved into plugs, haven't we?
I
It will
believe so.
cure you of disease X, which hasn't happened yet.
That is true. Our
Mhm.
shirts will help prevent disease X.
Corona disease X.
Yeah.
Yes.
The more shirts you have, the better protected you are.
Hypothetically,
Yeah.
hypothetically, it's a hypothetical disease. So we
Well-
don't know. The shirts could protect you.
Actually, called Jat shirts now,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
inspired by Mason.
Yes. This
Thank
is
you,
the
Mason. We
screw
love
top
you.
shirt. You can
Shout
screw
out
the
to
shirt.
Mason.
So yeah, disease X is coming. So COVID.
Yeah, we're gonna look back at COVID and be like, oh, dude, COVID was child's play, dude. I had disease X, I had disease Y, I had
Yeah.
disease Z, I had them all.
COVID, more like disease IX.
Yeah.
Can we just
that
focus
work?
on the one that's my name before we move on to X?
Yeah.
Let's
yeah, we're
focus
still
more
in the
on
midst-
Jen.
The Gen 1 surge.
Gen 1.
I do think that's our episode though. Mask up if you want to mask up. It's not gonna hurt. It's not gonna hurt, but
No.
Sew all your holes closed while you're at it.
You know,
do
that
that.
is the more aggressive and probably safer pattern. Do that.
Seems like maybe it's
Easier.
less wasteful too.
Yeah.
It would be
Save the
easier.
environment. Sew your holes shut.
If
Yeah.
you can't ingest a virus because you have no open holes, you will be healthier.
You hear that?
And that's
Right,
the Jat
Jenn?
guarantee.
Get your holes closed shut kit with purchase of Jat Jar.
Yeah. And then what you
Limited
do
time.
is you sew up and glue. You got to make sure you get a good glue in there too.
Do it.
Super glue every hole. And then once a
Everyone.
year, you purge. You just purge everything into your jet jar, and you just keep that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we fixed it. I think we
Done.
we
Disease
bridged
X
the
will now
divide.
never happen.
Oh, I'm so glad we solved the world's problems today.
I mean, it's what I came here to do.
That's what I wake up to do every day
every
as
day.
the dictator of Earth.
It's what we do every day. I would
Chat.
argue.
It's what we do.
Chat. All right. Well,
Wow.
Jenn and Travis, aka Jat, thank you both for doing the pod. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
I already plugged the merch store. That's all I got. AdamToddBrown.substack.com. Also, Jenn, what do you got to plug?
What does this come out?
Tomorrow.
Okay, great. Then on the 28th, come see my hour show called Jen's 7 Wonders of the World at PDA Space. It's Sunday at 2 p.m. So I know you're not doing fucking anything else. Come! And other stuff online. And also, I'm a wallet chain guy now.
Oh,
Nice.
Thank
Congrats.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Travis, what do you got to plug?
Well, Marvel Move is still going on, and I'm still Nightcrawler in it. So if you want to get fit in 2024 and do running missions while listening to Marvel superheroes tell you an audio story, download Marvel Move, and you'll hear this guy be Nightcrawler. Getting ready to do some more of it. So there'll be even more of me in the near future on it. Follow me on the Instagram. I am working on becoming a hike influencer. Not really, but I'm doing a lot of hiking stuff. And if you want to see some of the cool places I go, follow me at Track Rivals on Instagram. And you can see me as I attempt to train to summit Mount Whitney this year, because I have unfinished business with that very tall mountain.
Whoa. Okay, that's
Unfinished
cool.
Business. Travis left a body up there and he's going to bring it.
He forgot to bury it. He got up there and just left it there. So that's kind of fucked.
Yes, I got to get back up there pretty quick because
Yeah. Train, buddy.
So, all right. I think that's it. Let's get out of here. Jenn, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Travis, say goodbye.
Our mateys, goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. We love you. That was good. Thank you both.
That was fun.
Really quick,